Hello, my wonderful children. How are you doing? How are you doing? How is your parents? Or how are your parents? Okay, now, a pleasant day to you all. I hope you're keeping safe. I hope you're observing all safety precautions that you get on a daily basis, either on television or on radio, which are always washing our hands under running water, with soap and applying alcohol-based sanitizer. And if you must go out, please make sure you wear a nose mask. Okay, it is yet another interesting time with me through this medium through which we're getting our teaching and learning across to you in the comfort of your homes. Okay, today we shall be treating the subject mathematics, and the topic we're looking at today is Bodmas. 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 What is Bodmas? Have you heard about the word Bodmas before? B for bracket, O for off, D for division, M for multiplication, A for addition, and S for subtraction. In that order, it means how mathematical operations are followed in systematic order. In an order in which they should be followed or solved in a fraction involving multiple multiplication sign, no, multiple mathematical signs rather. So there are some fractions, or there are some operations that involves more than one sign. In that, if you have such a question, how do you approach it? You have to approach it using what I've said, Bodmas, So, but before we go ahead, it is very important for us to go through this before we start. Like I said, today we're looking at the subject mathematics, and the topic is order of operation, which is Bodmas. Order of operation, how to solve mathematical problems that involve more than one operation signs. And this topic is for primary 6 and is for week 8. But before we go ahead, let's go to the learning objectives. Like I keep telling you, the learning objectives are those things you must have learned, or you are expected to have learned at the end of this lesson, or at the end of each lesson that is taught. Okay, now let's look at this. At the end of this lesson, each of the pupils should be able, that means each of you should be able to state the full meaning of Bodmas, bracket of division, multiplication, and addition and subtraction. I've given you a hint. Now, you should be able to follow the order of operation to solve problems involving more than two signs. Let's see how possible that is. One, you should be able to tell me or tell anyone that asks you the meaning of Bodmas, B-O-D-M-A-S, okay? And you should be able to solve problems involving more than one sign. So let's see how it is done. First of all, let's go to the meaning of Bodmas, full meaning of Bodmas. Problems involving more than two signs are solved easily following the order of Bodmas. Problems involving more than two signs are solved easily following the order of Bodmas. Bodmas is B-O-D-M-A-S. Now, let's look at the meaning. Now, you are supposed to solve any problem involving more than two signs in this order. First, you are supposed to solve what is in the bracket. You solve what is in the bracket first. You solve what? What is in the bracket first, followed by off. If there is a off or F in that problem, after you have solved what is in the bracket first, you then go to change the off to multiplication. Off in any mathematical problem means multiplication. Off in any mathematical problems mean multiplication. Then after you have done the off, then you go to division. Division. After bracket, off, the next thing is division. So after you have solved What is in the bracket? You have changed the of to multiplication. Then you now go to solve the terms involving division. Now, after that, you then go to multiplication. After you have solved problems or terms that has division, you then go to the terms that has multiplication. Now, after you have done multiplication, you then go to do the terms that have addition. After addition, the last thing you do is subtraction in that order. So, bracket is treated first, followed by off. You change the off to multiplication. Afterwards, you then treat division. After division, you treat multiplication. After multiplication, you treat addition. And after addition, subtraction is the last thing you're going to treat. All right, let's see how this is done. Let's see how this is done. Now, note, expressions within brackets is done first. Now, let's look at this typical example. You have 1/3, okay, times 1/4 plus 1/2. Now, according to what the rule says, don't forget, it says bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Addition and subtraction. So we're going to treat these first. So what you do is write down your 1/3 times. How do you treat this? These are fractions with different denominators. These are fractions with different denominators. So what you do is find the LCM of 4 and 2. If you don't know the LCM of 4 and 2, you can come by the side and quickly do something like this. Write 4 and write 2. Find the LCM. You express them as a product of prime factor. How? Look for the number that will divide 4, at the same time divide 2. That number is 2. 2 in 4 is 2. 2 in 2 is 1. You do 2 again. 2 in 2 is 1. 2 in 1 is 1. So the LCM is 2 times 2. That is 4. Therefore, the LCM of 4 and 2 is 4. Then you put that here, 4. 4 divided by 4, you say 4. The denominator divided by, the LCM divided by denominator, all right? LCM over denominator times numerator. Okay, so you do that for this and you do that for that. So let's go ahead. 1/3 times, so let's do that. LCM divided by denominator, that is 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times numerator, 1, that is 1. Plus LCM again, 4 divided by denominator, 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 times numerator, 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Over denominator, 4. So what you're going to have is 1/3 times 1 plus 2, 3 over 4. Then you multiply out 1 times 3 up, 1 times 3 up, over 3 times 4 down, 3 times 4. Okay? 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Now, that is not your answer. You can see something is common. 3 is common here. 3 can divide 3 and it can also divide 12. So you say 3 divided by 3, then 12 divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Therefore, your answer is 1/4. Therefore, your answer is what? 1/4. Therefore, your answer is what? 1 over 4. And that's how it's done. First of all, treat what's in the bracket. This one, find the LCM. The LCM of 4 and 2 is 4. What you do next is LCM divided by denominator, answer multiplied by numerator. You do that for this, and you also do that for that. So let's do this. 4 divided by 4, 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Plus 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. So 1 plus 2, 3 over 4. Then 1 times 3, 3 times 4. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Now you reduce it to the lowest term by dividing it by common factor. 3 can divide 3, 1. 12 can divide 3, 4. And that is our answer. And that is our answer. So let's go to another one. Let's go to another one before I rub the board off. Let's go to another one before I rub the board off. Let's go to another one before I rub the board off. So the next one says, when the word off is used within an expression, it must be replaced by multiplication sign. I said it in my explanation as I started the class that off in any operation or in any mathematical problems means multiplication. So whenever you see off, you change it to multiplication sign. So it must be replaced by multiplication sign. It has been the same, it has the same effect as the bracket. So let's see this one. Let me rub this off. So we take this next example and I explain how that one too is done so you can understand it. I hope that is clear. I hope you're following. Okay, if it's not clear, you can play back and see how that is done. This one says 2 over 5 plus 1 over 5 of 1 over 2. So you have 2 over 5 plus 1 over 2 of 1 over 2. All right, so let's see how we're going to solve that so you would understand what I'm talking about. Don't forget that I said Bodmas means bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Now, what comes first in that order? B, O, after B, do we have bracket here? There's no bracket there. So we are not going to treat bracket because there's no bracket. What we have after B is O, off. So what we're going to do is change the off to what? Off means what? Do you remember? Okay, yes, off means multiplication. So let's do that. So we're going to write 2 over 5 plus 1 over 2. Then your off changes to multiplication, 1 over 2. Now, don't forget, after you change your off to multiplication, in that order, which one comes next? Is it addition or multiplication? What comes before addition is multiplication. Bracket of division, multiplication before addition. So we're going to do the multiplication first. So it is wise for you to bracket this so that you know that you are doing this first. So what you do is write 2 over 5 plus, you multiply the numerator as well multiply the denominator. So you say 1 times 1, the numerator, over 2 times 2. Okay? Are you following? All right. So the next thing is 2 over 5 plus 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. And now we're here. So what is left for us to